Hey guys, welcome again to my YouTube channel. It's been a minute. Yes, a minute. So in this video, I'm about to transform my mannequin. I'm really not a makeup artist, like I'm not a makeup girly. I know nothing about makeup, but I just want to use this medium to transform my mannequin. So guys, rate my makeup, rate this makeup so I know my skills, I know where I'm standing as far as makeup is concerned. So right now I'm just applying my foundation. The first foundation I applied was really light, so I'm going in with my second foundation, and this is from Sephora. So I'll just be applying the foundation. This is like a thicker foundation, which I think is best for the mannequin. So I'll just go ahead and I'll apply all over the mannequin. So for this process, whatever I do on one side of the face, I'm going to repeat exact same process on this other side. So right now I'm just making sure to dab my foundation properly all over the mannequin. And guys, when doing your makeup, you know blending is the number one. So I'm going to take my time to properly blend out my foundation to make sure everything is smooth. So now I'm done with my foundation. I'll just go in to add on my concealer. So you know, for the concealer, we always use something a shade lighter than your foundation. So I'll just be applying my concealer where it's needed. So guys, as I said, blending is the number one when it comes to makeup. So I'm just trying my best to make sure that everything is properly blended.
Sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. If all the things you never show.
So the next step, I'm going to be using my bronzer. So I'll just be putting that on the jawline. And this is like a darker shade. You want, for your bronzer, you want to use a darker shade to put it on your forehead and also put it on the jawline. So I'm going to, then this is my concealer. So underneath the bronzer, you want to add your concealer. You know, the bronzer is darker, so under the bronzer you want to put a lighter shade, which is going to be the concealer. So I'm just gonna blend that. So I also put the concealer on my, like the nose, the line of the nose. So I'm just going to use my fluffy brush, then I'll go ahead to properly blend. As we said, blending is the number one. So I'll just make sure to blend everything. For the next step, I'm going to be doing the brows. So for the brows, I'm really not good at doing brows. So I think I'm going to try to do this off camera, because I tried doing it on camera, but it wasn't working. So I'll just go off camera and see if I can try my best with the brows, because you know, if you can't do makeup, then just forget about the brows. So this is the brows. I tried my best. I know the brows is not perfect, but I tried. It was a struggle, like a real struggle, bringing out these brows. I'm applying my setting powder right now. So all the spots where I put my concealer, I'm just going to apply my setting powder on all the spots. As you can see, all the lighter spots on the mannequin, that's where I'm going to apply my setting powder. Then when I'm done, I'll also make sure to apply my powder now. I'll be applying the powder all over the face. So now let's just go ahead and add our setting powder only on the spot where we used our concealer.
But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know.
next is my blush. So I'm just going to apply the blush on the cheek. You want to apply your blush on the cheek. So I'm just going to be applying. I don't want it like too much, so I'll just be putting a minimal quantity on that part. So whatever I do on one side, I'm gonna do exact on the other side. So I'll just be applying my blush on the other side. So I think while applying the blush, I noticed that the other side was a little more. So I had to come back on the other side to adjust the blush.
Turning all the wrongs into rights. Here we go. You can take me there tonight. Whoa, this life is all we know. Whoa, I can't stay if you can't let it go. I never really know what's going on.
So this is the actual powder. I'm going to apply this all over the face. So I'm going to use a very fluffy brush to apply my powder all over the mannequin's face.
And even when you're next to me, I feel like you were gone. It's all the things you never show. They're all the things I want to know. Secrets start in the heart so slow. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know.
Now it's time for the eyeshadow. So I'm going to use two colors for this. I'm going to be using that color. I think that is like a dark brown or a burgundy color. Then I'm going to be mixing that with the black. So first I'm going to apply that color. Then when I'm done, I'm going to use my black to apply it on that color, because I want to get like a smoky. I want it to give like a smoky for that eyeshadow. So remember, whatever I do on one side, I'm going to repeat same process on the other side. So my eyeshadow is not as smoky as I thought, because I'm not a professional, so I didn't apply that properly. It was a struggle, but we'll manage like that. So right now I'm just doing the lip. So for the lip, I'm just going to apply my that's my foundation. I'm just going to apply the foundation for the lips. Then I'll go ahead to apply my lip concealer for the lips as well. I just want something cool, so I'm not going to do too much with the lips. So I'll just be sealing everything with the highlight. So I'm just going to be putting that on top of my cheek, just so I can give the glitters. See, you can see the glitters. So I'm just going to be finishing up with that. So I'm just applying my foundation all over the mannequin's body, you know, just so to add some radiance to that part so that everything can look brand new. So I'll just put the foundation, then I make sure it's properly blended, and voila, then I'll just go ahead to seal the makeup, and that's it. So this is this final step. I'm just going to be using my got2b glue for the setting spray because I want that glue to lock in the makeup. So I'm just gonna spray it like a generous amount on the mannequin. Then I'm going to let it air dry. Then once it's air dried, then the purpose of the mannequin is for the wig. You know, I want it to beautify my wigs. So just keep watching the video right to the very end so that you'll see my beautiful wig on the mannequin. So guys, how are you gonna rate this makeup? Did I try? Remember, I'm not a professional, I'm just trying. So look at that glitter. Oh my god. For like, I'm not a makeup person at all. I will give myself 8 on 10 because I know I tried. This is like the best makeup I've ever done, and it's on a mannequin, so this is like the best makeup I've ever done. So guys, if you watch up to this point, I say a very big thank you. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so that whenever I drop a video, you'll be the first to get a notification. I'll see you again in my next video. Bye bye.